What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is John. Today I have for you a big box good. That's right, today we're going to be taking a look at a piece of luggage for the upcoming holiday travel season. Today we're going to be reviewing the 21-inch hard side spinner Made by Design I picked up at Target for $79.99. Today we're going to be doing a first impressions. I'm going to show you around the product, show you what I like about it, what I dislike about it, talk about what caught my eye about this suitcase, and stick around till the end of the video. We will be doing a demonstration showing you how many items you can fit in this 21-inch carry-on suitcase. Let's go ahead and get into this unboxing and first impressions. So here in front of us is the Made by Design 21-inch hard side spinner. This for $80 is roughly the same price as our Swisstech 25-inch upright excursion at Walmart. That suitcase was roughly $84. It was a 27-inch hard side suitcase, probably for underneath the plane. This one is a carry-on, but what is pretty awesome about this suitcase, even though it is $80, it does make up for it because it does incorporate many of the features of a standard suitcase in a carry-on. So let's go ahead and point out some of the similarities in this review. Let's go ahead and get into the first similarity. So first, you'll notice not only can this rotate 360 degrees, and not only is it extremely quiet on this particle board table, it does have rubber feet or rubber wheels. They are plastic, but with rubber banding on the outside, and there are a couple of little design cues about the wheels themselves that we will point out later on. As you can see, they are kind of like concentric circles. They have no spokes, but there is a design. No logos here on the wheel, but like I said, what makes this similar to a standard size suitcase is the fact that you get 8 wheels. So you get 4 axles and 2 wheels on each axle, similar to what you would find on a standard suitcase, making this versatile to move about and transport just like a larger standard hard side suitcase. What is pretty interesting about the wheels is they actually have these concentric circles on them, which actually act as a bit of a grip or a bit of a support mechanism. One thing you'll notice is on the back of the handle are rubber nibs to help this lay on its back, but what you'll also realize is the concentric circle design on the wheels themselves actually serve as, like I said, a sort of grip to keep the suitcase from sliding while it's on its back, which leads me to another point, packing this suitcase. One point I made about the Swisstech Excursion 27-inch upright or 25-inch upright suitcase was that because it is a hard-sided plastic suitcase, not only is it durable, and as you can see it has this beautiful diamond texture which also makes it scratch resistant. What's awesome about having a hard-sided suitcase is it is extremely easy to pack and organize. It's extremely easy to plan your trip around this suitcase. You will have to pack this within its dimensions, and because it is a consistent fixed look, it should make it easy to pretty much see what you can fit in here before packing it. And also, what makes this similar to a more upright standard suitcase is the fact that you get an extension in the middle of the suitcase. You can add probably 1/4 of an inch or 2 or 1/2 of an inch of depth to the packing space of this hard side carry-on. Looking at the side of the suitcase, you can see the depth of the 21-inch hard side carry-on. You can actually tell that it does have the extension just by looking at the zippers. You get a main zipper and an extension zipper. The main zipper is a pretty robust black zipper. It's much wider actually than the expansion zipper, which is a bit fascinating, but I suppose the strongest zipper should be the one keeping your clothing in place. You can see we get a pretty generic handle. Now you can tell this is a generic third-party brand suitcase because it's just a pretty generic run-of-the-mill handle. It doesn't have any features, no chrome accents or leather tidbits on it, no stitching, not even a logo representing Made by Design, giving this a bit of a dull and uninspired look. Now, in a lot of my videos, I usually shy away from branding, but on luggage, I feel like it's necessary. And here, without any type of branding, it just gives it a bit of a dull and kind of boring look. Travel is all about fun and having a good experience, right? But most importantly, regardless of how generic the handle is, I know that's nitpicking, you do get a couple of specifications and a couple of product tags on the side that show you some of the features. And of course, what's actually really neat is it actually gives you a trip length, which is 3 to 5 days. So if that's how you want to look at this 21-inch carry-on bag, is maybe taking it on a trip for 3.5 days, you can just look at the product information on the side of the bag in store to find out if this suitcase is right for you. But because you're watching Shopping the Internet, we're going to go ahead and take a deeper look at this suitcase and actually pack it at the end. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the inside of the suitcase consists of, so you can get a really good idea if you even want to go to Target. Maybe you want to go somewhere else, if you want to buy this suitcase or not. Let's go ahead and check that out now. Like I said, the black zipper, contrary to what you might assume, is actually the main zipper. What is nice and a little bit confidence inspiring is the fact that it is the thicker, more robust zipper, which should better protect against this suitcase flying open. But let's go ahead and take a look at what is on the inside of the suitcase. As you can see, we do have a clothing strap, which again you will find on a more premium standard suitcase like the 25-inch Excursion we reviewed 3 weeks ago. This one actually has a pretty interesting mechanism. Instead of being just a buckle, it actually sort of slips into place like a piece of jewelry almost. Now, I am a little bit skeptical and a little bit critical about the quality of this plastic buckle here. It's kind of cheap and chintzy, but for the most part, it should do a pretty good job. But what's really nice is if you do pack things in this upper netting here and decide to maybe pack this left side with a couple of clothing items and maybe a towel, you could definitely, like I demonstrated in our Excursion video a couple of weeks ago, this would be a phenomenal compartment for bringing back gifts like pictures and postcards and other little items like artworks perhaps. Again, even though this is only a 21-inch carry-on hard-side spinner, it gets a lot of premium features, much like ones that you would find in a standard suitcase. Now, even though this is a diamond-coated texture, you can hear that it has a hard, rough, scratchy texture, making this extremely resistant to scratches and dings and things of that nature. I would be surprised if over time you found deep scratches. They would have to be on purpose or from an extremely sharp object like a car key or a knife or maybe a box cutter. The types of things you could expect to find, you know, in the underbelly of an airport where TSA agents are holding and checking bags, for example. They might find this suspicious for whatever reason, and it might get damaged in the process. But because this is a hard-sided plastic suitcase with a sort of diamond-coated texture, it should be fairly resistant to scratches, and it should also hold up well over time. And another awesome aspect about a plastic hard-sided suitcase is, like I said, not only does it make it easy and keep the suitcase organized and easy to transport, it's extremely lightweight. This bag is 8 pounds dry, so not including things inside, it's a pretty lightweight suitcase. Now, one of the minor issues I find with this suitcase, and I've actually experienced this already, is it does mark up easily, and that is in large part, I think, due to the coloring of the suitcase. But it also, even though it's kind of a rough diamond coated texture, like I said, it's pretty scratchy. this plastic actually feels kind of oily somewhat, which is surprising and cannot explain. So perhaps the oil finish or coating to this plastic maybe keeps it shiny and polished looking. It's a very nice, durable feeling plastic. It might also just suffer from things rubbing up against it. Now, even though this has similar styling to a more premium, more standard size suitcase, it also comes with a lot of the same features you would find on a standard, more premium upright suitcase. It does still lack in some areas. Now, first thing you'll notice is you get to pretty much pick it up by the side by its grab handle if you want to transport it. But one minor inconsistency I realized is if you look on the opposite side of the bag to the side handle, you'll notice that the side of this bag does actually, or suitcase, does not have any rubber feet. So making this bag extremely sort of awkward or maybe even difficult or cumbersome to drop or lay down on its side and pick it up again, which is just a little bit unfortunate and a little bit inconsistent. I would have liked to have seen a couple rubber feet to accommodate, like I said, the side grab handle on the left-hand side of this hard side carry-on. And last but most importantly, not least, this suitcase has multiple adjustment levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adjustment levels, and you could actually count fully retracted as 6 adjustment levels. Okay, so as promised at the beginning of the video, let's pack this suitcase and see how many items we can fit in it and in just what layout. Now, instead of packing this with clothes, I'm going to pack it with a folded up blanket and 2 couch pillows. I don't feel like pulling everything out of my drawer and reinstalling it or putting things back. I just don't want to go through that hassle. But trying to pack a couple of pillows and a blanket is actually a pretty reasonable demonstration, I would say. One thing we will have to do is probably loosen up this inside buckle, but just to demonstrate here quickly, it's pretty intuitive and easy to use. It's almost like a piece of jewelry. But one quick misconception I want to clear up is the size of this suitcase. Even though it looks bigger than it is, it isn't, but it's still pretty capable. So let's go ahead and test out its functionality now. As you can see, I've got 2 couch pillows. Now, in our 25-inch excursion, not only was that suitcase wider, it was also deeper, which made packing these pillows actually easier. But as you can see, we can still get 1 pillow on one side, and these are pretty thick pillows. They also have a lot of rebound, so they do actually bounce back into place, which will provide upward pressure on the suitcase to actually keep this smushed down. It will make it more difficult to zip and pack, but what's also really nice is we can actually pack 2 of these pillows, which, like I said, are pretty thick and robust and do actually rebound quite a bit. As you can see, this flap covering up the second pillow is actually only able to cover 1/3 of the pillow in its entirety. But what is nice is because this flap actually has 2 zippers, all you have to do to get this second pillow in place is just smush it down and zip it up. And as you can see, this lining is doing a great job of holding up. Now, one thing you might actually notice is you do get a significant amount of bulge here, which makes actually this netting area just really taut and kind of tight. And because it is just a mesh material, I do find this could potentially rip fairly easily. As you can see, if we just position the iPhone in, it does stick out a little bit. It is pushing up on this netting. So something to keep in mind, overpacking this suitcase, you could actually damage some of this netting in here. Even though for $80 you get a pretty reasonable suitcase, it does still have a little bit left to be desired, which, like I said, you can see here in this netting. But most importantly here, are we able to zip this suitcase up? And furthermore, we actually need to get one more item in here, and perhaps two. So let's go ahead and do that quickly here. As you can see, we've got a laptop. Like I said, this material on the inside is a pretty non-abrasive surface. It's actually pretty soft. I would not worry at all transporting a laptop or a tablet. But like I said, most importantly, let's go ahead and see if we can get this folded up blanket inside. Now, covering this up with just the basic layer, the standard layer, this is not using the extension. You can see that all you have to do to pack this suitcase is just smush it down a little bit. As you can see, what's actually really nice about this plastic top is, even though it is lightweight, it's actually pretty flexible. So you could actually almost push down on things inside and smush down on them just a little bit more to get them even more compact and actually give you some leverage zipping this suitcase up if it is just a little bit overpacked. So as you can see, we fit a substantial amount of items in here. They are pretty lightweight items. I would actually suggest that this is probably a lot lighter than what you would probably experience packing clothing, because a blanket and a couple of pillows really aren't that heavy. And also because it is a couple of pillows and a blanket, they do tend to compress just a little bit easier than, say, a pair of jeans, right? Or clothing stacked on one on top of one another. So really nice, pretty solid suitcase here. What I like about the hard-sided suitcases is that they make it extremely easy to pack things around. As you can see, I was actually able to pretty much eyeball what I could pack in this suitcase, just grabbing a couple of pillows and a folded up blanket off my couch. Even though they do take up a significant amount of room, and you can see we used up pretty much all the available space. Like I said, it's just super easy to eyeball. It took me literally 5 minutes to come up with that quick demonstration. Again, which I think is a good point and proves that you can actually pack this quickly and in an organized manner. Anyways, guys, that has been an unboxing or first impressions of the Made by Design 21-inch carry-on hard side spinner. I picked up at Target for $79.99. This is the tan color. Like I said, what I dislike about this suitcase is it actually tends to look a little bit pink. Even though it is a tan, it's an off-white, it's almost an eggshell white, it does tend to look a little bit pink in some lights. But with that being said, I think this is good for either a male or female. This is a pretty nice looking suitcase. It's sleek, it's stylish, it's modern looking. Some of the benefits of having a plastic hard side carry-on is that, like I said, you can actually use the plastic as leverage when packing it. If you do tend to overpack this or overpack in general, you can pretty much just lay on top of the hard plastic, making it easier to zip. So it does have some benefits just made for it because of the material it's made out of. What I also like about this hard side luggage is it's actually, for its size, pretty capable of taking a lot of different items in it. Like I said, you can take this on a trip that lasts between 3 and 5 days, but like I said, it does have a lot of similarities between a standard size suitcase, not only in the versatility and the ability to pack it or overpack it, but also in features. Of course, it does lack a couple of features. One of those features being nubs on the side to lay the suitcase on its side to pick it up from its side. And this suitcase also does not come with a toiletry pouch. So even though this is actually the exact same price as a larger, more standard size suitcase at Walmart, hit that like button if you want to see more content like this. Share this video with friends and family, and also hit the bell icon to get notified when I post videos to YouTube. My name is John. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I will see you in the next video.